2020 here on Under Review. We're going on the rookie review. We're evaluating this 2018 draft class. Yes, think back to where you were on draft night, guys. We talked about it earlier a few videos back, how Leighton Vander Esch, mostly got a review of a C the night the Cowboys took him in the first round, and how things have changed. But how did this group really shape up for you guys?
Well, I'll start off here, and Dave's on the draft show, and Brian's on the draft show. Here's why I'm not on the draft show. I hated the pick. I did not like this pick at all.
I love that you admit it.
I didn't. I just thought he didn't have enough of great plays in the Mountain West Conference. He had 1 year in the Mountain West Conference, and I was just worried about that. And even some of the plays that I saw, I just wasn't super impressed. Wrong. Just like, I'm a Mavs fan, and I didn't like Luka's pick, and he's unbelievable. Rookie of the year. So I don't know anything about picking guys. So I'm going to say that Leighton Vander Esch was great, and they're going to get a good starter in Connor over the years, and we'll see about Gallup. I'll let y'all talk about that, but Luka, way better than I thought.
The secret is you go on the draft show, and then you just talk about everybody. So
you cover all your bases.
Nobody remembers who you liked or who you didn't like.
252 picks.
Yeah,
there you go.
Do you like him?
No, I think we were cautiously optimistic about Leighton Vander Esch. I think we both agreed, surprised by how good he was, how quickly.
Calvin Ridley was a name. Derwin James, all these other names. Yeah.
The thing for me is the Cowboys have been so good in the first round. I'm at a point where I trust them implicitly. Yeah. So I don't worry about that. Connor Williams had his ups and his downs. I think we predicted that pretty correctly, just needing to get stronger, needing another year. Michael Gallup. The thing for me, you look at this draft class, I'm intrigued. You're always intrigued by what you haven't seen, right? And we haven't seen a ton from the back half of this draft class. You talk about Dalton Schultz coming on at the end of the year and playing a lot better in the second half. Dorrance Armstrong couldn't get on the game day roster for the last couple games of the season. Cedric Wilson's a guy that was on IR. And, I'm not saying these guys are going to be Pro Bowlers, but we know what we've got in the first half of this draft. I'm very intrigued to see what some of these other guys can do with a year in the offseason.
And just going back even maybe 3 seasons, you can tell this is where the money is for the front office.
Sure.
They love the draft. This is where they have to hit a home run.
Yeah, this is why I wondered the surprise that we had about why would Jerry give up a first-round pick to get Amari Cooper. I'm going to tell you, though, these guys did a great job of focusing, but I'm going to give you the lottery pick here. Mike White. That's where we're at. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. I love Mike White. I love the pick. And I don't think Mike White got to show really what he was last year in the preseason.
Not at all.
Him and Cooper Rush were going back and forth. But keep an eye on Mike White. They did a great job of telling you all the guys. The top half of the draft came in, guys were starting to play, to start. You got a lot of good play. But the quarterback, that's always the one. Mike White, he did not dress one game this year. And so now keep an eye on him going forward in year 2. Let's see if he's more competitive and can be that guy that's the capable backup and maybe one day develop into be a starter.
I will say this, and I did it. I'm a draft nerd. I get it. I focused on the back end as well, and I think that's intriguing. It looks right now, Leighton Vander Esch, Connor Williams, Michael Gallup, 3 guys that started a lot of games and played really well. I mean, you can criticize Connor all you want. Played better, played well a lot.
After the injury,
they needed him.
3 starter caliber guys in your first 3 picks out of this draft. If that's the baseline, then you're doing pretty damn well.
Where do you think Connor plays next year?
I think we're going to have a couple conversations about that.
Couple lemonades?
Gut feeling. We're going to have some lemonades and talk about it.
I will say this, too. I mentioned the draft show earlier. I'll say it again. The one thing I do remember about Leighton Vander Esch is that you were talking about him, Brian, probably around Valentine's Day. You're like, oh, it's going to be Vander Esch. You're like, who's that again?
Exactly.
It was setting up that way.
Yeah.
There's too many things.
Listen to the draft show.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
tell you the picks.
Shameless plug.
Hey, I could tell you the first-round pick this year. I mean, 100%.
His name's Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with this. Is this the Will McClay fan club right here? Appreciation post for you, Will McClay.
I never thought that they would be getting to a point where you're saying, I think we're okay with not having a first-round pick. I mean,
But they've got a lot of things they could fill in.
Sure.
I mean, they've got a lot of things. I mean, they still need to draft, and
history has not been good to this team when they don't have a first-round pick. It's even afterwards you would think you could make up for it. Sometimes it's more reaches.
That was part of that. That's why that was the problem.
Brian, I love you,
Fix that problem.
Dave, Nick, Brian, tune into the draft show if you want more of this type of talk. But we have more under review videos coming for you. Stay tuned.